Okay, good morning, everyone. We are on Chav Gimel Amud Aleph. On the top, Itmar. Kometz de minchas chote sheshamno. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Paso Rish Lakish Amar Hu Atzmo Meshachshecho B'Shiore Halog Uma'alehu. So you have a minchas chote which is not supposed to have any oil. And what happened? You put oil, after you did the kamitza, you put oil on it. So the Gemara says, Rabbi Yochanan says it's pasul, it's not supposed to have any oil. Rish Lakish says, no, you're actually supposed to rub oil on it. How do you rub oil on it? So he says you're supposed to take the kamitza from the minchas chote, you're supposed to drop it into the jar of another mincha, the oil from another mincha, like the leftover oil, you put into the jar, you rub it around a little bit and you have the oil on it. The Gemara's obvious question is, I understand. Says Gemara, V'achsiv lo yasam aleh shemen v'litin aleh levona. Rish Lakish, what are you talking about? It says you don't put shemen onto a minchas chote. He says, no, you're reading it wrong. Hahu shelo yikbal shemen kechavru seha. No, what that means is that you don't put shemen originally. You don't pour shemen into the mixture and have oil and flour originally. But after you take the kamitza off, then you have to put a little bit of shemen on it. We don't seemingly pass like that, and it seems like there's no shemen involved on the minchas chote at all. Eis v'Rabbi Yochanan l'Reish Lakish.
It's interesting that he makes something up like that. Like his Masorah is from Rabbi Yochanan, whereas he's making up like a new... Yeah,
and it's interesting because he's not just saying that it's kosher, he's saying lichatchila, one should be doing that. One should be rubbing the minchas chote with the leftover oil. Right. It's interesting. I'm on Chaf Gimel Amud Aleph at the 2 dots. And now I just got to 5 lines down. So, says Gemara, Eis Rabbi Yochanan l'Reish Lakish. So they ask a question on Reish Lakish. Charav shenis are bebalo yakriv. Just a heads up. The Gemara today is not so easy, but we'll do our best. The dry mincha, which mixes with an oiled mincha, you bring. So if you have a dry mincha, which is not supposed to have oil in it, like a minchas chote, let's say, that mixes with a regular mincha, which has oil, yakriv, you can bring it. Who does that seem to be like? That seems to be like Reish Lakish. Rabbi Yehuda Amar lo yakriv. Rabbi Yehuda says that you shouldn't be makriv it. My love kometz de minchas chote, di arev bekometz de minchas nedava. Rashi. Yakriv. De Rabbanan litamayu de olin ein mevatlin zedzeh. The Rabbanan hold a separate thing, which we're going to see. The Rabbanan hold that if you have 2 things that are supposed to be offered, a dry mincha and a oiled mincha, regular mincha, they're not mevatel each other. Because 2 olin and olin are not mevatel each other, therefore both of them are not mevatel each other, therefore you can be makriv both. But Rabbi, you know, nothing to do with min b'mino. Min b'mino, min b'she'eno mino, even if it's min b'mino, the Rabbanan hold that if you have an olin, 2 things that are ola on the mizbeach, like we said, then they're not mevatel each other. If it was min b'mino, then it would be eno mevatel. But if it was min b'she'eno mino, it would be mevatel. However, if it's an ola, even min b'she'eno mino is not mevatel. So that's a separate reason. Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yakriv. Because again, why is that different? Because here we're not talking about 2 minchas that are mixing with each other. Here we're talking about shemen mixing with a mincha. 2 minchas mixing with each other, that's a separate reason. That's not what we're talking about here. That's the Rabbanan. Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yakriv. Rabbi Yehuda says you can't bring it because he holds that that he holds min b'mino lo batel. He holds that they hold min, they hold ein mevatlin zedzeh. He would hold Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yakriv Rashi, va'afilu l'Rabbanan lo amri yakriv ela mishum ta'olin ein mevatlin zedzeh. He would hold that, according to Rabbanan, it's only going to be yakriv because olin na mevatel isa. Vehecha de'isei minchas nedava shadinan lei. That's when you have a minchas nedava. So again, the question here would be if it's min b'she'eno mino, if it's a dry mincha with an oily mincha, right? According to Rabbi Yehuda, it would be min b'she'eno mino, and it would be batel, and therefore you can't be makriv it. And over here, the Rabbanan would say for a different reason, since they're both ola on the mizbeach, ein mevatlin zedzeh, and you can't be makriv it. But the point for our purposes is that they're discussing a case where you have 2 things that are ola on the mizbeach. Right? And it's a question of min b'mino, min b'she'eno mino, or we don't care if it's min b'mino, right? It's min b'she'eno mino, so really it should be batel, and therefore you can't bring it. But the Rabbanan have a separate reason you could bring it, because what? Because they're both ola al mizbeach, therefore they're not going to be mevatel each other. But what's the point? Rabbi Yehuda is going to say to you, but if it's a case, where they're not both ola al mizbeach, if you have a minchas chote sheshamno, avalim nafal shemen bekometz, the chote, afilu l'Rabbanan lo yakriv. Because it implies that the only reason Rabbanan say yakriv is because it's ola on the mizbeach. But both agree that if you have random shemen, we're talking about random shemen here. Random shemen, which is not going to be ola on the mizbech. It's not supposed to be ola on the mizbech. This mincha is ola on the mizbech, but the random shemen is not. If you have random shemen, which mixed with a minchas chote, what would you say? Seemingly both of them would say lo yakriv. Even Rabbanan would agree lo yakriv, because random shemen that mixes with a minchas chote is going to ruin the minchas chote. So how can you, Reish Lakish, say that it's okay? And how can you even say lechatchila that it's okay? Says the Gemara, no, we're talking about a different case. Lo, minchas parim ve'elim b'minchas kvasim. Talking about the parim and elim with the minchas kvasim. Why is one called dry and one called oiled? Because the minchas kvasim has more oil than the minchas parim ve'elim. Parim ve'elim relatively are dry to the minchas nesachim. The minchas parim ve'elim are relatively dry to the minchas kvasim. Therefore what? It says that if you have a dry mincha, the minchas parim ve'elim, that mixes with an oily one, the minchas kvasim, you could be makriv it according to the Rabbanan. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, lo yakriv. Rabbi Yehuda says you can't be makriv it because min b'mino, it's not min b'mino, I guess. It's two different things, and therefore it would be batel. But again, at the end of the day, both of them are not talking about a minchas chote. Ma'alav kometz the minchas chote, yarbe kometz the minchas nadava. Again, the proof would be that that everyone would agree that shemen would be a problem. No, we're not talking about a minchas chote that's mixing with a regular mincha. We're talking about minchas parim ve'elim. V'abedik tani minchas parim ve'elim b'minchas kvasim mecharev shenitzar b'bolol yikrav Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yikrav perish kamefarish la. The kasha was that you have a minchas parim ve'elim b'minchas kvasim and a separate case of cherev shenitzar b'bolol. It sounds like it's not the same case. It says Gemara perusha kamefarish la. No, it's explaining it. So again, what comes out? It's saying minchas parim b'shel kvasim, which is a cherev in a bolol. That what? So according to that, the Rabbanan say you could be makriv because ein olim evat. Rabbi Yehuda says lo yakriv. Why? Because it's enomino, and it's enomino, and it's going to be mevatel, right? Says the Gemara. Therefore, what Rashi? Just want to see something. V'echad nitzar minchas parim minchas kvasim hasam vadei lo yikra mishum de ninseis ha'avaraka v'kometz minchas chote dior bekometz minchas nedava yakriv. Right. Okay. The point is that you don't have any proof from that brisa. If you have no proof from that brisa about shemen, you can't ask a kasha on Reish Lakish from that brisa. It's talking about something else. It's not talking about a minchas chote. It's not talking about shemen, and therefore you have no proof. That's the bottom line. And therefore Reish Lakish can still defend himself, even though again it's hard for us to understand where he's coming from. BAYT Rava. Now you have a separate case. Kometz shemitza shmano al gabe eitzim. So what do you do? Now you have a kometz which has oil and flour, and you squeeze the oil onto the mizbeach. Now ultimately you're going to end up putting that kmitza onto the eitz, onto that very spot. But now you have a little bit of oil that was separated from the kmitza. If that oil would be squeezed out somewhere else, you can't offer that kmitza because now it's missing the right amount, the requisite amount of oil. But now if you place the kamitza directly on top of the oil that you squeezed onto the eitzim, it should rejoin its kamitza, and it should be okay. Says Gemara, Chibure olin ka'olin damu olav ka'olin damu. It should rejoin, or maybe it shouldn't rejoin. Amar le Ravinu Ravashi, lav hainu Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish. This discussion is the same machlokes of Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish avde idmar. Hamala ever she'im bo kazayis ve'etzem mashlimu lekazayis. Rabbi Yochanan amar chayiv Reish Lakish amar pater. Similar case. You know that you have to have a kazayis in order to be chayiv for bringing a korban outside of the Beis Hamikdash. So here you have less than a kazayis of meat on a bone, but the bone combines with the meat to make a kazayis. So the question is, are we going to combine the meat with the bone or not? So you see that according to Rabbi Yochanan, the meat combines with the bone. Therefore, if you bring that bone with the meat outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you're going to be chayiv for bringing a korban, for bringing an aver outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Reish Lakish says pater because the meat does not mix with the bone. Seemingly, it'll be the same thing over here. That what? Rabbi Yochanan amar chayiv chibure olin ka'olin damu. Since both of them are going to be brought up, therefore the meat mixes with the bone. So too over here, since both of them are ultimately going to be brought up, the oil that you squeezed and the kamitza, the oil is going to mix with the kometz. It's going to rejoin the kometz, and the whole thing will be shalom Yisrael and be able to be burnt. Reish Lakish amar pater chibure olin lav ka'olin damu, that the bone cannot mix with the meat. Therefore, the meat is not a kazayis. Therefore, in a good way, you're not going to be chayav. But so too, when you squeeze the kamitza onto the thing, even though it's on the mizbeach, two things on the mizbeach do not join with each other. Just like the meat doesn't join with the bone, the original oil doesn't join back with the kamitza. You're lacking the right amount of oil in this kometz, and therefore it will not work. Says the Gemara, not so pashta, because maybe the case of the bone and the meat is different than the case of the oil, as Dr. Libman is shaking his head. Tibar Rabbi Yochanan, v'tibar Reish Lakish. Let's remind you, where's Alan? Tibar Rabbi Yochanan. Ad kan lo kama Rabbi Yochanan hasam ela be'etzem demina debasahu. Maybe Rabbi Yochanan said that the meat and the bone combine because it's one thing. It's one and the same. The meat, the bone marrow, it's all one and the same. Therefore, they combine. But what? Aval hai delav demina dekomet sulo. But maybe oil and flour or oil and comets are not one and the same. One is flour and oil. One is oil. Therefore, once you squeeze it, it's too late to recombine them. Says the Gemara, Odilma the opposite. Afilu Reish Lakish lo kamar ela be'etzem debar mefareshu v'parish lav mitzvah la dure aval shemen delabar mefareshu lo. Or maybe you could say the opposite. That Rabbi Reish Lakish, who says that when you squeeze the oil out, now it no longer rejoins. That's only because it's considered to be separate, as we'll see in a second what that means. It's considered to be separate from the. It's considered to be when you have the bone and the meat, those are two separate things, and therefore that's not going to combine. But over here, the oil and the kamitza are one thing, and therefore it will combine. Says the Gemara, or Dil Maloshna Teku. What's this understanding over here of Reish Lakish? What does that mean? So according to Reish Lakish, again, Reish Lakish said that by the case of the bone and the meat, you don't combine them. Maybe over there you don't combine them. Why? Because the bar mefareshu, as Rashi explains, if you throw the meat and the bone onto the mizbeach, and from the heat, from the fire, for whatever reason, they get separated, and then the bone goes flying off of the mizbeach, the halach is that you would not put the bone back onto the mizbeach, which clearly shows you that the bone and the meat are not one and the same. As opposed to if you squeeze oil onto an eitz, and for whatever reason, now that oil cannot leave the mizbeach without the eitz, but if that eitz from the heat, we know it could happen, the eitz flies off the mizbeach from the heat. That eitz is then returned, the halacha is, to the mizbeach als the oil shabo. So what do you see? You see that, again, that the etzem is a bar mefareshu, which literally means it's something that separates. If it's a bar mefaresh and you don't have to return it, therefore we're not considering it to be what? Something that's ola on the mizbeach. You have to have two things that are ola on the mizbeach to be able to combine to each other. Since if it flies off, we don't return, it's not going to be considered something that's ola, that's something going to be brought on the mizbeach. Therefore, it can't combine with the meat even when they're together. But since the oil, if it would fly off, we would bring it back. It's considered to be something that's ola on the mizbeach. The kamitza is ola on the mizbeach, and therefore, if you place the kamitza, again, it can't be placed separately. But if you place the kamitza on top of the oil that you originally squeezed off, then it rejoins each other, and Shalom Al Yisrael, you have a full kamitza. Or Dilma Loshna, or maybe it shouldn't make a difference. And just like over there, Rabbi Yochanan, 1 second, would say that the kazais and the etzem combine. So over here, he would say the same thing, that the oil recombines. And Reish Lakish would say, just like there it doesn't combine, over here it doesn't combine as well. And the cases are not different. Take it, we don't know who holds what, and we just left confused, and we don't know what the halacha would be. Yes?
You have to worry about kashash for Pachas Mashir, thing burned up on the Mizbeach. By the time you put the comments on, your oil is diminished.
Who said that you...
I'm asking you.
I'm saying who said... Is it burning? You're assuming that it's burning the entire time?
Well, yeah, you just threw it on. It's pretty hot.
Okay. He's asking, when you squeeze the original oil, it's gone. So obviously you're doing it quickly. You squeeze the oil, you throw the kamitz on right away, the oil's still there. And achnami, if you see the oil disappear, then there's nothing to talk about. Zak the Gemara Mishnah. This is interesting because the Mishnah here on Chav Gimel, you have to go to the Rashi for whatever reason on Chav Beis. The Rashi on Chav Beis explains this Mishnah on Chav Gimel. There are 3 cases here, and these cases will be what we'll use the rest of the day. And this is all going to be about bittul. Again, the first case wasn't really about bittul. A little bit. Cherev shenisara b'balul. We touched upon it, but this is really, we're going to get into the heart of the bittul over here. Shtei menachos shalod nikmitzu v'nisarvu zu b'zu. You have 2 menachos that neither one had kamitza come off. These are the 2 menachos, these 2 gemaras, and they mix with each other. And as we'll see in a second, they're overlapping each other. So there's part of each one that's separate. There's parts that's together. So this part is separate. Again, imagine if they were like dough. So it was like a third was by itself, a third of each was mixed, and a third was by itself, right? Or a half, I would say, is by itself. A half is mixed with this half is mixed with this half, and you have combined big dough with 2 minchas. So what happens? If you could take off from the part that's not combined a kamitza, and the part over here that's not combined a kamitza, then it's kosher. You have to be able to take off at least a kamitza from each mincha from a part that's not combined, that's not touching the other mincha. That's the first case. Now you have a different case. Now you have the kamitza that falls into a mincha, that was not taken off. So now I can't burn it. Why? I have to burn this kamitza part, but this mincha is not supposed to be burnt until I take off the komets of it. So now what happens if I go in and I burn the whole thing? Says the Gemara, Vim Hiktir, Zosha Nikmitza Ola Labalim, my mincha, which is my kamitza, which ended up being burnt, I'm going to get credit for. Your kamitza, or your mincha, which did not have kamitza taken off from it yet, you're not going to get credit for it. V'zusha lo nikmitza lo ola labalim. That's the second case. Third case is Arif Komsa B'shiareha. Not that this kamitza is falling into another mincha. This kamitza I take out of this mincha, and then it falls into the shirayim. So now the shirayim is not supposed to be burnt, but my kamitza is supposed to be burnt. So what do we do here? O b'shireh shel chaverto, or it goes into another minchas shiram, same thing. Lo yakter, I can't burn it. Why? Because the shirayim is not supposed to be burnt. However, v'im hikter ola labalim. But then again, if I burn this, then again, assuming it's my mincha, so I have a mincha, I take out kamitza, I'm supposed to burn it, but then it falls back into the shirayim. So the shirayim is not supposed to be burnt. But if I burn the whole thing, I was yotze, because even though shirayim is not supposed to be burnt, I'm supposed to eat it, so I didn't eat it. But my kamitza was burnt. Therefore, in the third case, I was yotze. If my kamitza falls into your mincha, and we burn the whole thing, then you're not yotze, because you never took komets out of your mincha, but my kamitza, again, was burnt in those two cases. In this case, where the two things are touching each other, as long as there's enough on this side, again, they're overlapping really, they're like mixed. As long as there's enough on this side to take out a kamitza, and enough on this side to take out a kamitza, you don't have to take from the middle, because if you take from the middle, it could be part of this and part of that, and then it's not good. Then l'maisa, it will work. Amar Rav Chisda. This is where it gets a little complicated. Nevela betela b'shchuta. We're in the Gemara in Chaf Gimel Amud Aleph, starting the Gemara. Rav Chisda says the following. It's a machlokas Rav Chisda and Rav Chanina. If you have a nevela and a shchuta, you have a rov and a miyut. You have two pieces of kosher meat and a piece of non-kosher meat. And we're talking about al's tahara. It might be the same thing, al's eating it, but we're talking about tum and tahara right now. Nevela betela b'shchuta. If you have a rov of shchuta, and you have a piece of nevela meat that gets mixed with the rov of shchuta, she'i efshar l'shchuta shetas and nevela. V'shchuta eina betela b'nevela. So let me just say this outside for a second. There's going to be a machlokes now, whether you look at the properties of the thing that's doing the bittul, which is the rov. It's easier for me to say rov versus mevatel versus batel. The rov or the miyut. What does that mean? If you say that we look at the properties of the rov, what are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out if it's min bimino or not. We know min bimino is, right? Min bimino is lo batel. If you have two things that are together that are the same, it's not batel. Min b'she'eno mino is batel. So this is a little complicated. What are you trying to figure out? Trying to figure out now, you have nevela, which mixes with numerous pieces of shchuta, kosher meat. So the kosher meat is the rov. So the question is, if the rov can get the properties of the miyut, then we consider it to be min bimino. If the rov cannot take on or become the miyut, then we consider it to be min b'she'eno mino. Rabbi Chanina is going to say the opposite. He's going to say if the miyut can become the rov, then we're going to say it's min b'mino. If the miyut cannot become the rov, then we're going to say min b'she'eno mino. What does this mean in English? Let's see. So now you have nevela in shchuta. So you have a lot of pieces of kosher meat, and you have one piece, let's say, of non-kosher meat. So now again, according to Rav Chisda, we're going to try to figure out, how do we figure out whether it's batel or not? Well, if it's min b'mino, it's not going to be batel. If it's min b'she'eno mino, if it's two different things, then the one that's kosher, or the rov of kosher, can be mevatel, the non-kosher meat. So how are you going to figure out? Well, you're going to see whether the rov, the kosher meat, can ever become non-kosher meat. What does that mean in English? So nevela betela b'shchuta, the nevela can be batel in shchuta. Obviously, why? Because shchuta meat can never become nevela meat. Because we care about whether the rov can become the miyut. When you have nevela, that's a certain level of tumah. No matter what you do to shchuta meat, it can never go on to the level. Seemingly, it sounds like the Gemara is saying, even if a tamei person, even if a tamei mace touches the shchuta meat, it can never be it can never reach the level of nevela meat. Since the rov can never turn into the miyut, therefore by definition these are considered to be min b'she'eno mino, two different things. Min b'she'eno mino, what do we say? Batel in the rov. The rov is kosher meat, therefore it's all considered to be kosher. U'shchuta eina betela b'nevela. But the shchuta is not batel in nevela. If you have a rov of non-kosher meat and one piece of kosher meat, the kosher meat is not batel in the non-kosher meat, which here will give you a kula for tuma. Why? Because now if something touches one of those pieces, you don't have to assume that it's tameh because it's eina betela, and you can assume that it's the kosher meat that it touched and not the nevela meat. Why, if you have a rove of nevela meat, is the kosher meat not batel in it? Because what? Because nevela can turn into shchuta. Nevela meat can turn into shchuta meat. We'll see what that means in a second. If the rove can turn into the miyut, then it's min b'mino. If it's min b'mino, eino batel, and therefore the miyut of shchuta meat will not be batel in the rove of nevela meat. Where do you see that nevela can turn into shchuta? It doesn't make any sense. You can't reshacht it. We're not talking about reshachting it. Ushchuta eina betela b'nevela she'efshar l'nevela shetasa shchuta. Why? Dilechi misracha pircha tumasa. Nevela can turn into shchuta in the sense that shchuta meat is not tameh. It's not betame things. It's kosher meat. Nevela meat, if you touch it, you're tameh. Let's just say. But if it spoils, it's no longer tameh. When nevela meat, it spoils, it becomes bad. So since nevela meat can turn into shchuta meat, the rove can turn into the miyut. If the rove can turn into the miyut, then we say it's min b'mino. Min b'mino, what are we going to say? Min b'mino lo batel, lo batel. The shchuta meat will not be batel in the rove of nevela meat. Therefore, we don't know which is shchuta, which is nevela. If you touch one of them, you can assume that you touch the shchuta meat. Obviously, if you touch all of them, you're tameh. But if you touch the one of them, you can assume that it's the miyut, the shchuta meat, and therefore you don't have to become tameh.
Because miyut doesn't mean it turns in. It might be true for tumah tahar, but it's not true in terms of kashrus. So
again, that's why I said.
Say it's min b'mino?
In terms of kashrus, it might be different. In terms of kashrus, it might be different.
It's min b'mino when you have a chiluk between it because of kashrus. It's never min b'mino.
So the Gemara is saying we don't care. We're not talking about kashrus reasons. You're right. Al kashrus reasons, you can't eat this. Al tuma, you can eat it. You can't eat it. Al tuma, if you touch it, it's not a problem. Al kashrus, you can't eat it because, like you're saying, al kashrus, al eating it, it's going to be min b'mino. Correct. You got it? Everything clear? What? I want to make sure it's clear. We're saying we have a rove and we have a miyut. We want to make sure that, again, if the rove can turn into the miyut, then we're considering min b'mino. When you have two things that are the same, lo batil. If you mix two liquids, it's not batil. If you mix water with orange juice, you're not going to say batil. As opposed to if you have three pieces of different things. If you have a piece of pig and two pieces of kosher meat, you can say that the pig is batel, is nullified in the kosher meat. That's a general rule. Min b'mino lo batel. If you have similar things, if you have good dam, if you have kosher dam or kodesh dam with chulin dam and they mix, it's not batel, it's two different things. If you have different objects, then they can be batel. So that's what we said this way. So Rabbi Chanina is going to say the opposite. He's going to agree that you're going to have two different dinim here, but he's going to say we don't care whether the major one, the rove, can turn into the miyut. We care whether the miyut can turn into the rove. If the miyut can turn into the rove, then we're going to say it's min b'mino. If the miyut cannot turn into the rove, then we're going to say that it's min b'she'eno mino and batel. Reb Chanina amar kol she'efshalo lios kamohu eino batel. If the miyut can turn into the rove, it's eino batel. V'chol she'efshalo lios kamohu b'batel. It's the opposite. So he's going to say what? He's going to say that nevela, let's say you have a little bit of nevela in a lot of shchuta. So what did we say? We say that the little bit of nevela can turn into a lot of shchuta. Because what? Because when it spoils. Therefore, it's considered to be min b'mino. If it's min b'mino, then what are we going to say? We're going to say lo batel. Therefore, nevela, he's going to say the opposite. Nevela is lo betela b'shchuta. The opposite of Rav Chisda. Again, it's complicated, so don't get turned off. And the second thing, where we said that shchuta is not betela b'nevela, if the rove is nevela, and the miyut is shchuta, so we said that the miyut of shchuta will not be batel in the nevela, because what? Because nevela can turn into shchuta, but according to Rav Chanina, we don't care about that. When you have a rove of nevela and a miyut of shchuta, what do we care? We care whether the shchuta can turn into the nevela. The shchuta cannot turn into the nevela. Therefore what? Therefore it's considered to be min b'she'eno mino. If it's min b'she'eno mino, it's batel. Therefore shchuta, which is in a rove of nevela, will be batel in a rove of nevela. The exact opposite of the first case. What's important for us, besides for those details, what's important for us is that we see that both in the first opinion or the second opinion, there's going to be one case which is going to be batel. They both agree that min b'mino is batel, and min b'she'eno mino is batel, and min b'mino is not batel. They're just arguing on which is the case of min b'mino and which is the case of min b'she'eno mino. If you say again that you go based on the rove, you're going to have one set of cases. You're going to have, like Rav Chisda says, that the nevela in the rove of shchuta is going to be min b'she'eno mino, and then the opposite for Rabbi Chanina. But they both agree that one of the cases will be batel and one of the cases will not be batel, because one of the cases is min b'mino and one of the cases is min b'she'eno mino. Says the Gemara, aliba deman. So who does this go like? Well, I aliba derabanan ha'amrei olin hu delo mevatli adad aval min b'mino batel. This can't be the Rabbanan, because the Rabbanan said before that only if two things are brought on the Mizbeach are they not mevatel each other. But if you have min b'mino, and for sure min b'she'eno mino is batel. He says min b'mino is batel, and min b'she'eno mino is batel. The Rabbanan hold that even min b'mino is batel. Until now we've been saying min b'mino is eno batel. Min b'mino is batel according to Rabbanan. So across the board, min b'mino and min b'she'eno mino are batel. The only time that they're not batel is when they're olin ala mizbeach. Over here, this nevel and the shchut are not being ol on the mizbeach. Therefore, according to the Rabbanan, both of these cases should be what? Both of these cases should be batel. So it can't be Rabbanan, because one case is batel and one case is not batel, no matter who you learn like. Rather, who is it? Aliba de Rabbi Yehuda. What does Rabbi Yehuda say? He says min b'she'eno mino is batel, min b'mino is eno batel. Therefore, what? Aliba de Rabbi Yehuda. There's only one problem. HaRabbi Yehuda batzar chezusa azil. The problem with Rabbi Yehuda is Rabbi Yehuda says that we care about the physical properties of something. If you want to know whether something is similar or not, whether it's min b'mino or min b'she'eno mino, we don't care whether the rove becomes like the miyut, the miyut becomes like the rove. What do we care about? We care what it looks like. When you look at these meats, what do they look like? This looks like meat, and this looks like meat. I have no idea that this one is shchuta and this one is nevel, this one's nevel, this one's shchuta. What happens if they look alike? If they look alike, by definition, they're min b'mino. If they're min b'mino, then what by definition are they? Lo batel. If they're both shchuta and nevela, if they're both meat and they look alike, then both of the cases in this brisa, whether you're Reb Chisda or Reb Chanina, both of them should be what? Both of them should be the same thing. They're min b'mino, and they should be eno batel. So why is one case batel and one case not batel? Says the Gemara, v'aydi min b'minahu, ela liba de Rabbi Chia. It must mean within Rabbi Chia. Ditani Rabbi Chia nevelo shchuta betelo zubezu. So what we're going to do basically, as we'll see in a second, is we're going to go with Rabbi Yehuda, but we're going to change Rabbi Yehuda's criteria. It's not going to be a physical looking alike criteria. It's going to be a separate criteria. That what? Rabbi Chia aliva deman. Rabbi Chia, who is he going like? Ia liba derabanan ha'amri olin hu delo mevali adadi hamin b'mino batel. Ia liba Rabbi Yehuda kol min b'mino Rabbi Yehuda lo batel. You have the same thing. Says the Gemara, we're going to add, and we're going to learn within Rabbi Chia, but we're going to change Rabbi Yehuda a little bit, just to keep things simple. La'olam aliba de Rabbi Yehuda. V'chi ka'amar Rabbi Yehuda min b'mino lo batel. When he says min b'mino lo batel, hani mili hecha de efsher le'lemehave kavase. Aval hecha de lo efsher le'lemehave kavase batel. Uvaha kamiflagi. De Rav Chisda savar basar mevatel azina. Rav Chanina savar batar batel azina. Again, we said our brisa that we just had, this machlokas Rabbi Chanina and Rav Chisda cannot be within the Rabbanan no matter how you slice it or dice it. It cannot be within the Rabbanan because Rabbanan say, whether it's min b'mino or min b'she'eno mino, we say what? We say batel, and therefore there's no possible way to explain this brisa within the Rabbanan. Nothing to talk about. Rabbanan, goodbye for now. Rabbi Yehuda, we have a possibility. Because Rabbi Yehuda at least makes a chiluk between min b'mino and min b'she'eno mino. He says min b'mino is lo batel, min b'she'eno mino is batel. We just have a separate problem here. The separate problem is that Rabbi Yehuda says another thing. The first part that he says is not a problem. It's perfect, fits in perfectly. The case of min b'mino, however you want to establish it, whether it's based on the rove, whether it's based on the miyut, whatever it is, min b'mino is lo batel, min b'she'eno mino is batel, and you're good. Shalom al Yisrael. The problem is the second thing he says. The second thing he says that you go based on physical appearance, that's a problem. Because these two pieces of meat look exactly the same, and therefore, by definition, they're min b'mino, and therefore, across the board, everyone should hold what? Min b'mino, eino batel. But if you change Rabbi Yehuda's criteria, which is what Rabbi Chia is in essence doing, if you change this criteria and say, the criteria about whether it's something min b'mino or min b'she'eno mino is not based on whether they look alike, but it's based on their legal properties, today, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. What are they arguing about in our brisa here? They're just arguing about how you establish what the legal properties are. Do you establish the legal properties of this combination, of this siruf, of this mixture, based on the fact that the rove is like the miyut or the miyut is like the rove? That's the machlokas. But if you take away this part of Rabbi Yehuda, the second thing he said, and you change it from physical appearance to legal properties, now you're perfect. Because now they're arguing about the legal properties, and that's exactly what the thing is talking about. So you have them arguing, how do you establish the legal properties? Well, you either establish it by looking at the miyut, by looking at the rove, perfect. But now we can work within Rabbi Yehuda, who says, min b'mino lo batel, min b'she'eno mino is batel, and that's exactly the machlokes that Rav Chisda and Rabbi Chanina are having. That's how the Gemara understands this. Zok the Gemara. New case. Well, now we're going to try to bring a proof. So again, just to simplify things going forward. Rav Chisda for now is the one who said that you always look at the rove. If the rove can become like the miyut, then it's min b'mino. If the rove cannot become like the miyut, then it's rove b'she'eno mino. Then it's min b'she'eno mino. And Rabbi Chanina said the opposite. We care about whether the miyut can become like the rove. If the miyut can become like the rove, then it's min b'mino. If the miyut cannot become like the rove, then it's miyut. Then it's min b'she'eno mino. So now we're going to bring a proof for Rabbi Chanina. So again, we want to just know beforehand what we're doing. So we're bringing a proof for Rabbi Chanina, and we're trying to, this is seemingly going to prove that we look at whether the miyut can become like the rove in order to establish. Where do we see whether we hold whether the miyut can become like the rove? Tnan. These are the three cases we just had. So again, these two menachos mix with each other. What do you have here? Well, what's going to happen? Again, these two minchas are touching each other. As long as you have enough in this mincha to take b'fnei atzma and enough in this one, it's okay. Says the Gemara, and we can ignore the part that's touching in the middle. We can assume that that part belongs to this and this part belongs to this. Now listen to what he's happening. This is great lumdus here. What's going to happen? So again, these are touching. Watch. I take off the kamitza from this one. Right? Idach, the rest, havile shirayim. Whatever is left in this mincha is now shirayim. V'lo kamivadle shirayim letivlam. What are you seeing? We're seeing that I'm allowed to take off a kamitza from this side, and I'm allowed to take off a kamitza from this side. What's left after I, again, go in order? I have to take one of the kamitzas off first. So I take off this kamitza first. I'm holding it in my hand. Then these are touching. Right? So now, whatever's left here, sorry, I have the mincha here and the mincha here. I take kamitza from this one, right? I put it into the klishares. Whatever is left on this side, they're touching in the middle, is shirayim. Now we said, what can I do? I can go ahead and I could take the mincha now from here. If there's enough dough here that's not touching, I could take the kamitza from this one, put it in another klishares, offer them up, eat the leftovers, and shalom al Yisrael. Says the Gemara, something very, very stark. When I take off this kamitza, what do I have left? I have shirayim here. Now, part of this shirayim is touching, this shirayim, at least part of it is touching part of this mincha, right? What happens if we go based on the rove? Now, this is called tevel. Why is it called tevel? The Gemara is referring to this as tevel, because tevel is produce that you haven't taken trumas and maitzos off. We're referring to this as tevel because you haven't taken kamitza off of it yet. So what should happen here? One could argue that the shirayim, the leftover shirayim that's here, at least part of it is touching part of this mincha. Maybe the shirayim, the rove shirayim should be mevatel, the miyut of this mincha that it's touching. Okay? If it's mevatel, even a miyut, even the part that it's touching, you have a mincha now that's missing part of it. If it's missing part of it, how can you then go ahead and do kamitza? You can't do kamitza on a mincha that's missing part of it. Again, you take off the kamitza, you have the shirayim here. Now, we don't exactly know which part is shirayim because it's also touching. But you have the shirayim here somewhere, which is fine. This rove shirayim, we're only caring about the little part of this mincha, which is touching this mincha. This rove shirayim now should be mevatel even a tiny piece, because all we need, the reason we're this not being mevatel is because all we need to be mevatel is a tiny piece of this mincha now to ruin the entire mincha. So we're pointing out, since we say the halach is that you could do kamitza here, clearly we're holding that this shirayim here is not being mevatel even the tiniest piece of this korban mincha, and therefore what? Let's see. Mani, who is this? Irabanan ha'amri olin hu delo mevali hadade hamin b'mino batel. If it was the Rabbanan, it can't be the Rabbanan, because what? Rabbanan say that olin are not mevatel, but they said min b'mino is batel. This is min b'mino. This is a mincha with a mincha, right? The shirayim should be mevatel, even a tiny piece of this mincha, and you should not be able to do kamitza. So this is not the Rabbanan. Rather, what? Elapshita Rabbi Yehuda. This must be Rabbi Yehuda. Bishlama leman de amar basar batel azlina. Now, what's the rove here? What's the rov? The rov is the shirayim. The miyud is what? The miyud is the mincha. The question is, do you go based on the rov or on the miyud? Well, let's see. Bishlama lemandi amar Rabbi Chanina basar batel azlina. And you care whether this can become like this. Can this mincha become like this, the shirayim? Batel have kimevatel. It is dilechi kametz meidach havelu shirayim. Can this become like this? Again, this is the shirayim. We want to know whether the shirayim is going to be mevatel this mincha, the part that it's touching, at least even a part of this mincha. Can the miyut become like the rov? Yes, it can. Because what? This part, each part of this mincha can ultimately become shirayim. Because as soon as you take off kamitza, whatever's left, i.e. the part that's touching this, becomes shirayim. Therefore, if the miyut can become the rov, what do we say? Then it's what? Then it's min b'mino. If it's min b'mino, what's the halacha? Lo batel. Therefore, min b'mino, lo batel, this shirayim will not be mevatel, even a little bit of this mincha. That's perfect. But if you say the opposite, that what? There you go, not based on the miyut, but on the rov, which was Rav Chisda. What's the rov here? The rov is the shirayim. Shirayim can never turn into mincha. Shirayim can never turn into mincha, therefore it's considered to be min b'she'eno mino. The min b'she'eno mino, the shirayim with the she'eno mino of this mincha, which all we care about is a tiny piece that's touching it, should be mevatel that tiny piece. Once a tiny piece of this side of this mincha is batel, you're missing the requisite amount, the required amount, the size of this mincha. You don't have the size of this mincha, you can no longer go ahead and do the kamitza. But the Mishnah says you can do the kamitza. So clearly it's like the one who says that you go basar the miyud and not basar the rov. Says the Gemara, Elapshita Rabbi Yehuda, Bishlam al-Madamar basar batel azlina. That's basar, the batel, is that being mevatel? That's the miyut. Batel havikim mevatel l'chi kametz mida chavelu shirayim kihani. Elamadamar batar mevatel azlina. And you go based on the what? You go based on the rov. Shirayim mika havitivla. The shirayim cannot become tevel. Again, the rov is a shirayim because all we care about is a tiny piece of this mincha. Says Gemara, lema delok Rabbi Chia. It's not like Rabbi Chia, i.e. Rav Chisda within Rabbi Chia. Says Gemara, we have a separate din. You're right. One can learn that in general we go like the rov and not like the miyud, like Rav Chisda. So why over here is the halacha? If we're going like the rov, then we should say that the shirayim is mevatel, this mincha, and you should be able to take off kamitza. There's a separate halacha by a mincha. What's the halacha? The separate gzeras hakasav, gzeras shava. Nemra haktara bekometz v'nemra haktara b'shirayim. It says the word haktara by the kamitza and the word haktara by shirayim. Now, it's funny because they're the opposite meanings. That means the word haktara by the kometz is that it says you have to be maktir the kometz, you have to burn it. The word haktara by shirayim, it says you're not allowed to be maktir the shirayim. But either way, it says the word haktara by both. Therefore, you make a connection between the kometz and the shirayim. Ma haktara hamura bekometz ein hakometz mevatel es chavero. Just like when you're dealing with burning of a kamitza, one kamitza is not mevatel its friend. What's that? That's the other case. What did we say? That if two kamitzas mix with each other, you can burn both of them. One kamitza is not mevatel the other. So just like one kamitza is not mevatel another, the shirayim will not be mevatel the mincha either. So the shirayim will not be mevatel the kometz. Therefore, it's a special gzeras hakasa. But in a chanami in general, based on your svara, you, Rav Chisda, based on your svara, if we were just without this gzeras hakasov, this shirayim, the rov, would be mevatel the miyut, and therefore you would not be able to take over kamitza. It's a separate reason why you can take over kamitza here is a gzeras hakasov that shirayim is not mevatel another mincha. Says the Gemara, another tashma, the other way. Tashma, hakometz shenisar b'mincha shalon nikmitza. Now we had a second case. Now we had the case where my kamitza mixed in with a mincha that was not nikmitz. So we said lo yakter, I can't burn it because this mincha is not supposed to be burnt. Only the kamitza is. V'im hiktir zusha nikmitza alta l'balam v'zusha lo nikmitza lo alta l'balam. But we said if it is burnt, then I'm going to get credit because my kamitza was burnt. Your mincha, you're not going to get credit because you burnt the whole mincha, unless it's a mincha that has to be totally burnt. But your mincha is not going to get credit because you didn't take a kamitza off. V'lo kamivata le'tivla l'kometz. What do you see here? In this case, my kamitza fell into another korban mincha. What's the rov here? The other mincha. The miyud is the kamitza. If we burn it, what happens? I get credit. What does that clearly show? That the mincha is not mevatel the kamitza. Money, who is that? That's not the Rabbanan, because again, this is min b'mino. Min b'mino should be batel. So who is it that says that it's not batel here? Again, the halacha is lo batel. If it was batel, I wouldn't get credit because it would go into your mincha, which hasn't had a kamitza taken off. Ela pshita Rabbi Yehuda. Now it's the opposite. Bishlama leman de amar bater mevatel azlinan. We're going to go based on what? On the mevatel, the tevel. That's Rav Chisda. Why? Mevatel have kibatel. Because the rov can become like the miyut. How can the rov become like the miyut? Because any part of this mincha ultimately can become a kamitza. Once I do the kamitza, any part, depending on where I put my finger, this entire mincha has the possibility, has the potential to become a kometz. So if we go based on the mevatel, on the rov, being able to become like the miyut, therefore what? This can become like the miyut. Therefore it's what? It's min b'mino. Since the rov can become like the miyut, it's min b'mino, and therefore lo batel. Therefore, this is not batel. If we bring it, I'm yotzei. Dechol porsa chazi lemikmatz minei. Every piece of this mincha has the potential to become a kamitza when I go ahead and do the kamitza. V'havele min b'mino lo batel. Elaman de amar basar batel azlinan. But according to Rabbi Chanina, that we go after the kamitza, can kamitza become a regular mincha again? Mik kometz mika have tivla? No. So this kamitza can never become tavel. If the miyut cannot become like the rov, what do we consider it to be? Min b'she'eno mino. What's the halacha by min b'she'eno mino? Batel. The fact that we say that I'm yotzei, that I get credit, shows that when I drop this into this, how do we decide if this is min b'she'eno mino, min b'mino, or min b'she'eno mino? It's clearly, the halacha clearly is that it's what? That it's lo batel, because I'm getting credit. Therefore, we're assuming that it's what? It's min b'mino. How does it become min b'mino? Only if we say that this, the rov, can become like the miyut. But if you say that the miyut can become like the rov, the miyut cannot become like the rov. Therefore, if you use that criteria, it would be min b'she'eno mino, and it would be batel. So clearly, we're saying the other way. Says the Gemara, you have the same answer. Lema delok Rabbi Chia hanami k'de Rab Zera. No, you can answer Rabbi Chanina can answer the same way. You're right. Really, in general, we go based on the miyut. But over here, it's a different halacha because there's a separate halacha that what? That these things cannot be mevatel each other. That kamitza is not mevatel shirayim, shirayim is not mevatel kamitza. One more tashma. Tashma nisarev kumsa, and they add here b'shiareh shel chaverta. So let's just leave it with again. Let's assume instead of my kometz falling into another mincha, my kometz falls into my leftovers. So again, I had the kamitza, I had a mincha, I pulled out my kamitza, and this is the shirayim, the leftovers. Now, instead of falling into another mincha, my kometz falls into the leftovers of this actual thing. So what's the halacha here? We said, lo yaktir, I can't burn it. V'miktir, also labalim, I shouldn't burn it, because the shirayim is not supposed to be burnt. But if I burn it, so then, okay, I can't eat the shirayim anymore, but lamaisa, I burnt the kamitza that needed to be burned. So again, what do we see? We see that the kamitza is not being mevatel in the shirayim into which it fell. V'acha de lo have mevatel kibatil. What do you see here? What's the rov here? The rov is the shirayim. The shirayim is not like the batil. The loka mevadele shirayim lekometz mani irabanin. You have the same exact back and forth over here. Because what's over here? Well, here you have the kometz falling into the shirayim. Well, now it depends how you hold again. The kamitza cannot become shirayim. So if you go based on this, generally the kamitza cannot become a mincha. It's the same thing. According to that, if you say that it's based on the miyut, then you end up with min b'she'eno mino, and it should be batel. It's clearly, again, a proof for Rav Chisda that what? That you fell into the shirayim. We're assuming that it's not batel, therefore it's min b'mino. How is it min b'mino? It's only if you hold that what? That this can become this. Again, it's the same svar if you play it out. Says the Gemara, what?
Neither of them can become neither.
Why?
The comments can't become the shirayim can't become the comments.
So again, in this case, it can't be Rabbanan and it can't be Rabbi Yehuda, but then we can say that it can become either one of them because according to Rabbi Zera, we have a separate thing. That's why Amar Rabbi Zera, Nemer Haktara b'kometz and Nemer Haktara b'shirayim. Maktar Amur b'kometz ein kometz vatal es chavero. Avatar Amur b'shirayim ein shirayim mevatlin es hakometz. You're right. The kamitza couldn't become the shirayim couldn't become the kamitza. But we have a separate thing of Rabbi Zera. So you're saying that would have really been a kasha on both of them. But the second thing of Rabbi Zera, it's still not going to be mevatel either way because again, it's a din of kamitza and shirayim. Fine. Last one. Tashma. Hard Gemara. Tivla beketzach b'shumshim v'chomine tavling shera. What did you do? You have matzah for Pesach. You're making matzah, and you take the dough and you put spices into the dough. So for whatever reason, the Gemara is assuming now that you put spices or sesame into the dough, it's still kosher. Why? Because it's still matzah. It's a new product this year. It's going to be spiced matzah. Matzah el shenikres matzah mitubel. It's spiced. So Gemara, for some reason, which it's going to reject in a second, is going to assume how much spices fell into the matzah? A lot. The rove is spices at this point. It's mainly spices and a little bit. Now again, you don't have to learn like that because you don't have to learn that it's too much spices. You could even learn, I don't remember if Rashi says it. No, they point out that it doesn't matter, even if it's just a piece of the matzah that has a rove of spices. Then you're mevatel part of that piece of the matzah, and then you don't have a full matzah anyway. So let's just assume that you just have a tremendous amount of spices on the matzah to the point where you're mevatel the matzah and it's no longer matzah, it's spices. It says in Gemara, the rove is spices and the miyut is matzah. Well, what happens? Well, what do you do now? How do you figure out if it's going to be batel or not? Well, if you go based on the rove, well, batel would be based on the miyut. So if you say you go based on the miyut and you see whether the miyut can become like the rove or not, so what happens? Batel have kimavatel. What's the miyut here? The matzah is the miyut. The miyut can become like the spices. Why? Matzah can become like spices, just like spices are not kosher for Pesach. When matzah spoils, it's not kosher for Pesach either. So the matzah can become like the spices. If the matzah can become like the spices, then what do we say? The miyut can become like the rove. If the miyut can become like the rove, then it's considered to be min b'mino. If it's min b'mino, then what? Then we're going to say min b'mino eino batel. Therefore, the matzah is not going to be batel in the spices, and therefore you still have matzah. Where if you say the opposite, if you say that when you have spices, which is the rove, and you have matzah, which is the miyut, the dough, and you go based on the rove, can the rove become like the miyut? The spices can't become like matzah. Tavli mika havu matzah. The spices cannot become matzah. If the spices cannot become matzah, then what do you say? Then it's min b'she'eno mino. If it's min b'she'eno mino, then the spices should be mevatel the matzah, and you don't have any matzah. But the Gemara says that you do have matzah. So it must be what? A proof, again, for Reb Chanina that we go based on the miyut, and we see whether the miyut can become like the rove or not. No, we're obviously not talking about a case where there was more spices than matzah. Deruba matzah, hivelo badla. No, the cases where you have rove matzah, and everything goes based on the rove matzah. Why? The reason that this is kosher is because you have a rove of matzah, you have a tiny bit of tavlin, and therefore lamaisa, you're going ahead. It's interesting. The Gemara is not assuming that we're going to go based on the miyud here and maybe see if the miyud and min b'mino. It's assuming that once you have a rove of matzah, even a tiny bit of tavlin is not going to ruin it. And therefore, lamaisa, according to everyone, you'll have kosher matzah for Pesach.
The tavlin has a different